Shalom, shalom, fam. What's good with it? All right. Y'all see the title? You know what time it is. Hey, fam, before we get started, let's give a little time for this room to get filled up. But like, share, shoot some comments, right? Hit that little notification bell, do any little action, help this thing get out in the algorithm. All right. Let's get this room cracking real quick. Y'all see the title? It's gonna be an interesting one today. Y'all know what time it is. All right. Let me share the thumbnail. Here we go. All right. Y'all see what time it is? Wars and rumors of wars. Right? We're going to talk about prophecy being unfold, and prophecy yet to come. Right? So like I said, let's get this out there. Like, share, comment, hit the notification button, do all that. Any little action you do, it helps it get out there. All right? All praise. I see we got some family members piling up in here. Shalom, Sister Tanya. Always a pleasure, sis. Let's see who we got in here. Hey, if y'all in here, throw a shout. Let's get this room cracking so we can get started. I'm going to give a little bit of time. All praises, Sister Water, for the super sticker. Much appreciated. All right. Let's see how many likes we got in here. All right, family, let's get them likes up. Give it a couple more minutes. We'll give it to like 9:25. Gonna let some more people, you know what I'm saying? Get that algorithm out here. Let some more people come through. Shalom to all the family that's in here right now. This is gonna be interesting. This gonna be interesting because it's a hot topic, right? It's a hot topic. See y'all coming in. See y'all pulling up, right? All praises. Well, hey, it seemed like it's about that time. So, first and foremost, I want to get called Halal Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. That's all praises to the Most High God Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, who the world knows as Jesus in the English, but it don't have that same power as it do in the brute, right? Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. All right. So look, speaking of Yahweh Shai, all right. And by the way, it's Officer Yazir of Sicari Long Beach, aka the WOLFPAC, right? Sicari LBC WOLFPAC, hence the channel name, coming at you with another edition of the Couch Captivity Created, right? And peep game on this. Everybody know the current topic, right? Of the geopolitics right now is the little skirmish they got going over there in the land. But here go the thing. Don't trip. You see what I'm saying? Don't trip. Because if you know this word, you know exactly what is unfolding, and everything that's happening is happening because the Most High said it would. Right? The Most High said it would. Hey, Shalom, Harab. All right? All praises, King. The water for stopping through. You feel me? Yeah. And yeah, sis. Hey, look. All praises. You know what I'm saying? Hey, each one, teach one. Spread that word one by one. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Tell your loved ones and your family members about it that's out this way. And look, you never know who we can link up. There's brothers in here that's been linked up by word of mouth. So all praises. That's how the Most High told us to do it, right? Cry aloud. You see what I'm saying? Cry aloud. But yeah, y'all see the topic, right? Matter of fact, let me go back to the thumbnail. Wars and rumors of war. Let me start out with that scripture. That's what, Matthew 24. Let's go there. 1 second. All right. Let me get that. Matthew 24, we'll probably go from like, start at 6 or so, right? All right. Let's start out with Christ's words himself. You feel me? Hence the title, Wars and Rumors of War. So let's go to Matthew 6. Matthew 6. We're gonna start at 6. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, right? It's Yahweh Shai, in case you didn't know, right? See that ye be not troubled. You feel me? AKA, hey, don't trip, right? So, Lucky, let me pull something up on my phone. 1 second. You feel me? You see? In Matthew 24, I'm looking at the red letter. Out of probably a couple dozen paragraphs, all but 2 is direct quote, and the rest is just the author himself saying this is what Christ said, right? I'm jumping down to 6, but y'all can go in there. Like I said, go back on your own time and dig into the detail, but we're going to pull out a clip here of what Christ's saying that's applicable right now as we speak. You feel me? As we speak. Okay? Matthew chapter 24, start back at verse 6. And ye shall hear you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Don't trip. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? This ain't the end, family. As much as we want it to be, it ain't the end. It's the beginning of the end, right? It's ramping up. But we got a lot of things that got to happen, but we got to take joy that we understand what's happening. And that's what we're going over today, right? Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places, right? And what did Christ say? All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? The beginning of sorrows, right? Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand that while this is going on, you got to buckle down. You have to buckle down. You see what I'm saying? Because the affliction is coming. Because Esau right now is like a wounded animal. If you ever been hunting, you know that a wounded animal is the most dangerous when you try to run up on it and he know he on his last leg. He gonna get that last lunge at you with all the strength he got. Esau know he's exposed. He knows what's going on. And he trying to be like the Wizard of Oz behind the scenes, right? And act like he still the puppeteer, but the curtain is open. You feel me? The curtain is open, and we're gonna go through this can of worms that's done been open right here. You feel me? We're gonna get in some geopolitics so you can see directly how what's going on right now correlates with this scripture and where you need to be at. Right now is buckle down time. It's time to buckle down, man. It's time to armor up. Because believe you me, the flood is coming. And you gotta have steady footing, right? So we're gonna get into it. Let me continue on with this. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? We got to take joy in this affliction, man. We're not looking to make friends. We already know we're supposed to be hated for this truth. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and they shall betray one another, and they shall hate one another. Oh boy, is that not going on, right? A lot of trickery, a lot of betrayal, a lot of people offended right now. You feel me? Look, you see what's going on in the streets. You got protests on either side, right? And you got one country saying this and another country saying that, and people within the country not agreeing. Man, word for word, right? Look, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. You see what I'm saying? Oh, daughter of Babylon, the best propagandists on the planet, right? They steady at it, right? The Israeli state, they got their own propaganda machine. You feel me? They got the Western world convinced that it's okay to carpet bomb refugee camps. When they told them people, we're going to cut off all your electricity, cut off all your water, no phone, no nothing, right? We're going to send you a note, give you a couple hours to evacuate because we're going to blow the city up. And where they blow the building up where they evacuated from, and then they blow up the hospital and the refugee camp. They done convinced the Western world that that's kosher or that's acceptable with their, what they call them, Geneva, what's the Geneva rules of war, right? That they've all agreed, like what's acceptable in war. They've convinced that it's okay to annihilate them people like that. That's how savage Esau is. That's how much of a devil Esau is. But we're going to get into that and see, you know, I ain't got no horse in that fight. I ain't got no dog in that fight, right? But right is right and wrong is wrong. You see what I'm saying? They can't be on TV talking about, hey, it was one nigga over there hiding in the middle of the refugee camp, so we just blew up all 10,000 of them. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the geopolitics so you understand how crafty Esau is and all his confederates that's surrounding him and what their fate is going to be. It's going to be double the cup. You understand? We're going to roll this thing out. Let's get into Christ's words real quick so I can stay in the spirit, because I could get real rude with it, but I'm going to try to stay in the spirit and just keep it all facts right here, family. You feel me? Because it irritates me that all these heathens is over there trampling and trotting our land. But you know what? I can be at peace because I know it has to happen. Right? It says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Hey, it's a cold world right now, right? Because of all the wickedness in the world. It's a cold world, man. The love of many is waxing cold, right? But this is not a majority contest. It's a chosen few, an elect that's going to get it, right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to endure this thing, family. We got to endure this affliction, right? We got to understand and prepare for what's coming, and we got to armor up with the full armor and buckle down, have a solid footing. And what's our foundation? Is these lively oracles of God, man. You got to be rooted in these commandments, and you got to have undying faith, because the arrows is going to be coming at us. The floods is coming. Don't you worry. It's going to get worse before it get better, but you got to get stronger spiritually. See what I'm saying? Holy Spirit got to be dealing with you to get through this, right? So we all know what's going on over there, right? Let me look at some of my notes here. All right, one thing I wanted to mention is some of the geopolitics. See what I'm saying? Because right now, it's a weird little dichotomy going on. Because the United States government has, on the surface, traditionally been supportive of the Jewish people, of the Israeli state, right? All the politicians, they're scared to death to be labeled as an anti-Semite. So they get up there and they say, we support Israel. Especially them, them Bible Belt evangelical white Christians, right? They quick to say, we support Israel. But let me tell you how these devils are. All them Bible Belt evangelicals, the sons of Satan himself, the son of the devil, right? Descendants of Klansmen, descendants of founding father bigots, they hate Amalek. They despise Amalek. You see what I'm saying? They despise Amalek. So they don't care about them people. What they care about is the geopolitical relationship. They concern only, see, here's the thing. You got different, over those Israeli people over there, they're not all on one political mindset, right? Some of them is Orthodox. Some of them is even Messianic. Some of them is just straight wicked and secular. Now, the most wicked ones are the leadership. The fewest of the people over there are the Zionist, secular Zionist leadership. And when I say secular Zionist, is that they don't follow Torah. They're Zionists in the sense of they want to claim that territory as a state. And that's their only mission. And they want to have the support of the daughter of Babylon to back them up because it benefits them financially. They don't give a damn about their own people, because if they did, they wouldn't move how they move. You see what I'm saying? If you're surrounded by enemies, surrounded, you're a small country of maybe a couple million, right? You're surrounded by tens of millions of enemies on every border. Do you think you should move in that neighborhood and act like you got some sense? Or you want your government going in there like King Kong calling niggas out, right? They don't care about them people. And they damn sure don't care about nobody around them. What they care about is being backed by the U.S. with weaponry so they can pursue monetary gain. They money grubbers, right? Netanyahu is not a practicing Jewish man. You see what I'm saying? And you got to look at the ethnicity of these people, okay? Bear with me for a minute here on this commentary because it's important to establish the foundation of what we're dealing with right now. So Benjamin Netanyahu is not popular over there. Probably 80% of the country of Israel, the state of Israel, the Israeli state, 80% of the population disagrees with his approach. They don't like him. They consider him a tyrant. He absolutely is, because he's in there backed by the U.S. He got the best jets, and he can call up the president at any time, get some battleships over there. You know what I'm saying? Get a battleship fleet over there. You know what I'm saying? Aircraft carriers, everything. Jets, tanks, drones, missiles. You see? One call, and he got it. But what happens? Every time they make a military action, they people suffer and peep game. In the state of Israel, the Israeli people, once you turn 18, you automatically signed up as a soldier in the IDF, which is the Israeli Defense Federation, right? It's like an automatic draft. Everybody got to serve. So peep game. If you got a bunch of 20-something-year-olds at a party, right? From what I heard, one of the first attacks was like this rave party. They all out there getting high, doing all kind of wickedness, right? They got some instant judgment because Hamas ran up in there and slaughtered them. But guess what? Technically, they were all soldiers. You see what I'm saying? But, the spin on the West is like, oh, my poor innocent people. But when they go back and they bomb a refugee camp, It's like, they might know somebody that's Hamas, so we're gonna wipe them all out. You know, it's not a righteous judgment. You see what I'm saying? It's not a righteous judgment because they wicked people and there's no light in them. So that's why this skirmish is kicking up. And the next thing that's happening, right? Wars and rumors of wars. So guess what? Who do you think is next to jump in this thing? Or who have you heard? Let me get a poll, do a poll in the chat. Who do y'all think is like full on about to be in this thing on the side of Palestine, right? To go all in on war against Iraq. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's a number of players, right? But list your top one that's about to be about it, full on, 10 toes down. I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds, man. Let me see what y'all think. You know, we got the usual suspects, right? But I found something interesting today. I'm gonna bring this out. Okay. Right. That's a good one. That's a good one, Papa. Turkey. Okay. Because Turkey ain't feeling it. Right. And we know Turkey is backed by Russia. So you can see how them games is played. Russia ain't feeling it. Because you know, Russia got their own interests in the area, just like China. So you know, it's them geopolitics coming into play. Right. Got Turkey over there lurking like, look, if it go down, it's going to be a problem. Look, Tamayam, Yemen, bruh, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Yemen and a few others, right? Let's see. Who else got a country that they know is about to set it off, right? Ali Ashai, Iran, right? Because they always saying, well, Iran backs Hamas. Of course, right? They're of the same sect of Islam, right? They're of the same sect, which I believe is they're both Shia. Whereas you got Hezbollah in Lebanon is Sunni. You see what I'm saying? Right, Tanya? Russia's over there lurking. Russia's telling the US, hey man, stay out of that, bro. Plus, we already got problems over here on this side of the world with the United States government shadow backing Ukraine. You feel me? See, you see how all the politics is coming into play, man. You know, that's that Ezekiel 30, that's that Ezekiel 38 full-fledged right there. The hook is in Meshach's jaw already. And this is doing nothing but just adding more bait. Right? Okay. Y'all on point. Okay. Now, one more I will say that's not on the list will be Saudi Arabia. And you got to understand, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, they hands tied just like the US. Right? Saudi Arabia and Egypt is sitting back, waiting to see what the US do, because guess what? The US is in cahoots with Saudi Arabia and Egypt financially. There's all kind of financial billions and trillions of dollars flow between these countries. Massive military equipment. You know, they even that's why it was a big skirmish, because Saudi Arabia had let US military put planes and stuff on the base, right? Bin Laden them wasn't having that, but we still got all these treaties and agreements with these countries. So the most powerful Middle East countries right now is got their hands tied, because the US is like, let's stay out of this one. Yeah, it's Pandora's box, right? So now one of the major players right now, and you're not going to see this on the Western news. This is crazy, because you would think this would be all over the place, right? You're not going to see this on the Western news. I had to find it on the Indian Times or something, the Times of India. Peep game, right? Right? I don't know if y'all ever heard of the Houthis, right? That's, you know, Yemen's paramilitary sect, right? And it's similar to what Hamas is. It's a paramilitary sect that took over power of the government, all the government functions, right? So the Houthis in Yemen officially declared they're joining the war. And how did they do that? How did they declare that? They lobbed some rockets over there and said, yeah, we did it. You feel me? Now you got proxies across the board because Lord knows where they got them weapons, right? Could be Russian, could be via Iran, which would most likely make it Russian, right? Because there's that connection. Who knows what all these allegiances is going to pan out to be, but these heathens is out there making moves on the board. You see what I'm saying? These heathens are making moves on the board, right? And look, the frustrating thing for us is all these people, because look, our land is from the Nile to the Euphrates, man. All these people are fighting over our land. But we know it has to be done because, look, it's prophecy, it's written, it's got to play out. But peep game with Yemen. I'm going to read a little bit of this article. Yeah, India Today, right? And this is a publication in, you know what I'm saying, East India. It says, Yemen's Houthis declare joining Israel-Hamas war part of an axis of resistance backed by Iran. The Houthis have rallied behind the Palestinians since Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. They've been down with it. They've been down with it. And the U.S. been known they've been down with it. They ain't saying that because the U.S. don't want nothing to do with Iran, don't want nothing to do with Russia. The U.S. is not about that life right now. Stretched too far, right? Let's read a little bit. All right. You see, they out there, they about it. They about to get it in. Say Yemen's Houthis have waded into the Israel-Hamas war, raging more than 1,000 miles. War raging more than 1,000 miles from their seat of power in Sana'a, declaring on Tuesday they had fired drones and missiles at Israel in attacks that highlight the regional risk of the conflict. So the conflict is becoming regional, right? Yemen is 1,000 miles away from the center of from Jerusalem, from where this war is going on, right? From the Gaza Strip, that little border over there, right? 1,000 miles away. They lobbing rockets from 1,000 miles away. So peep game. What kind of rockets these boys got that they lobbing them 1,000 miles and it's hitting the target? Think about it. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying, guerrilla warfare. 1,000 miles, bro. Let's see how far 1,000 miles is. 1,000 miles. I mean, you lobbing a rocket damn near from San Diego, damn near to the Bay, and hitting the target. Come on, man. Somebody backing them boys, right? Russia, maybe China, maybe a combination, right? Because what do they call this? They formed an axis of resistance. An axis meaning there's several points, right? There's several pivot points, right? Part of an axis of resistance backed by Iran, the Houthis have rallied behind Palestinians since the beginning of the attack, right? Opening a new front for a movement that has waged war for 8 years with the Saudi-led coalition in the Gulf. So peep game. Hamas and Saudi Arabia don't get along. But what's Saudi Arabia going to do? They're going to sit back and watch? Probably so, because they tied down by the U.S. You feel me? They tied down by the U.S., right? So, look, India Times, boy, they got nothing but pictures. Bunch of pictures, right? So that's that. I don't want to harp on that too much, but we know what's going on. We got all these heathens over there on our land, right? But we know it's written. That's got to be it, right? So we're going to go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 21. Luke 21. We know that's got to happen. 21 and 24. All right. Let's share that. Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. Right? That's us. Led away captive into all nations. Slaughtered by the heathens in all four corners of the earth. Right? And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Right? And so until Christ's return, we're going to have all these heathens trodden down our land, fighting for our land. Because guess what? The Palestinians over there claiming that, you know, these European Jews, and mind you, you got Jewish people like Netanyahu, his parents is Polish, right? The Polish people moved over there in the 1890s and 1880s. The Eastern Bloc moved over there. Why? Because they was getting persecuted where they were. Whatever they skirmish was, I don't care. That's white on white violence. But it's a Western construct to think that you're going to carve out a piece of land and bring a bunch of white Europeans in there in the midst of all that these people in the Middle East and be like, all right, we cool. That's a Western construct, man. The best idea they could have came up with if they really wanted a place, you know what I'm saying, of a refuge, is to become a part of another state. Just like how a refugee would come to America and claim citizenship. That's the best thing they could have done. How are you going to go in there and draw territory and be like, that's me? That's Esau. That's how he moved. He moved by the sword. Right? When the Brits, at the same time the British was over there doing the Balfour Accords, right, and the tail end of World War II, and it's you know, the whole premise of anti-Semitism, right? That's the propaganda they use, right? At the same time that was going on, what was the U.S. doing? The U.S. was bringing over Nazi scientists to develop bombs, nuclear bombs, atomic bombs. So out of one side of their mouth, the United States of America is saying, we don't stand for anti-Semitism. We want to make a homeland for the Jews, knowing these people ain't the Jews. This is a political project. This is a what do you call that? A military experimental laboratory. Because now the U.S. can spend all kind of money on all these crazy weapons like Iron Dome and this and that and whoop-de-whoop. You remember with Reagan? Reagan had that concept of the Iron Dome, right? To be able to block nuclear warheads. So they scaled it down on a more practical scale, right? And put that system in place, you know what I'm saying, where the Israeli people live, the state of Israel, right? Iron Dome, whatever they call it. You feel me? It's a laboratory. It's a military laboratory. They get to try out all kind of technology and weapons. And the United States does not care about the people over there. They care about their military industrial alliances, right? And then making money. Because the Mediterranean is such a rich port of trade. And you got oil and all kind of minerals over there. And it's just trillions of dollars of wealth over there. That's the only thing America's concerned about. They sitting back like, man, I ain't see nothing, man. Like, hey, Netanyahu, man, come on, stall me out. You feel me? So look, let's get this article right here. Yeah, man. How can they claim on one side of their mouth that they anti-Semites when this is the kind of shit they do? Yeah, y'all look it up. And so this is direct from the Smithsonian because they got to tell on themselves, right? Project Paperclip. Look that up on your spare time, but I'm going to give you a synopsis. All right. Project Paperclip was the second name for a program to bring German and Austrian engineers, scientists, and technicians to the United States after the end of World War II in Europe, right? Known by many today as Operation Paperclip, which is actually a misnomer. It was originally called Project Overcast, but que sera, sera. Semantics, right? Project Paperclip, right? When the war ended suddenly, right? So it was supposed to be for a year or so, right? It right here says its official objective was to bring these experts to the United States for 6 months to a year to help America with this war against Japan, meaning develop that bomb so they could just wipe Japan off the map, right? They tried, you know what I'm saying? They the atomic bombs did damage, but they wanted to wipe that island off the map. But that war suddenly ended in August of 1945, and the program continued anyway. Look at Esau. He knew what he was doing. He gave them people a home. He's like, come on in, Nazis. We love you. You fit right in with the Klan. And look what we got running around our country today. These little neo-Nazi fascists that, you know, think they got some nerve, but you know what I'm saying? They're going to have something for them. They're going to have something coming. You know what I mean? Right? In fact, the U.S. Armed Forces and civilian agencies sought long-term advantages for the United States through the seizure of the Third Reich technologies. That's Hitler's Third Reich, right? That they saw as superior to or competitive with allied ones, notably aircraft, rockets, and missiles. So why you think all of these companies spurred up, like with these German names? Northrop Grumman, right? And the U.S. is just going, yeah, here go 100 million, 200 million, 300 million. What you need to make that plane, man? Make me some new jets. You feel me? Meanwhile, it's a depression, and recovering from after the depression, you on a war, and then it's another economic collapse. And then, you know, come on, man. Esau is wicked. Esau is wicked. So, you know, long story short, I think that's another paragraph on here that had a little bit of interesting info. Okay. Right. They got a picture of one of the scientists working closely with the military. Look at this. We just finished World War II against Hitler. Now they buddies with Hitler scientists. Dr. Werner von Braun. You don't get much more German than that. Right? Werner von Braun. At the right, with his little suit, right? With his army superiors, Major James Hamill and Colonel Holger Toftoy, in the late 1940s. Many of Project Paperclip scientists and engineers had Nazi records, which were seen as an inconvenient problem by the project's administrators. Roughly half of the early paperclip specialists had been members of the Nazi Party, many opportunistically. A minority were true believers who had significant party records or had joined the SS, which is the Schutzstaffel, right? Or SA, the Stromberg Abteilung. That's some German, right? I'm not going to try to speak German. That's one of the nastiest languages, right? The rapid deterioration of relations with the communist-run Soviet Union, which by 1948 led to a Cold War that threatened to turn hot. You feel me? Any coincidence that the Balfour Accord is going on at that time? All this stuff is brewing, man. So it has a lot to do with why Russia is where they at right now. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of parallels. It never really stopped. They only was able to be better puppeteers from behind the curtain, but the curtain is back open, right? And so look, which by 1948 led to a Cold War that threatened to turn hot, made the immigration of ex-Nazis more palatable to the American government and public. You see how they point at one skirmish to make it like, these Nazis ain't so bad, man. We got to worry about the Soviet Union. And guess what? The big bad enemy from that point was the Soviet Union. The argument was that we needed them for our weapons programs, or at the very least, we needed to deny their knowledge and talents to the Soviets, right? And, we can go on, but long story short with that is right after that, it started the war, the race to space, right? The race to the moon and all this. So the Soviets had Sputnik, and, the U.S. had their thing, and so on and so forth. And it's just these crackers spending billions upon billions of dollars on weapons of destruction, weapons of mass destruction. You see what I'm saying? The wickedness of Esau, man. It's unbridled. It's unbridled, the wickedness of Esau. Now, we just read, right? We just read Luke 21 and 24, right? Let's go back to that to get back onto the point. There you go, Ali Shai. Oppenheimer, right? Don't get more German than that. Right? That he make the boom. So going back to Luke 21 and 24, okay? Follow me on this, because I'm about to bring it full circle. I just want y'all to see how all these pieces play together, man. How all these pieces play together, and they've been playing like that. It's been some allegiances that shift here and there for the benefit of them, but it really ain't shift. You see the propaganda go out like, oh, look, man, big bad Soviet Union, they about to blow us up. So that's why we got to do this. So now all of a sudden, the Nazis don't look so bad because the Soviet Union got nuclear bombs. You feel me? Come on, man. We know how that propaganda go. Hey, Lit Earl, Shalom, fam. All right, call halal Yahweh B'Hashem Hamashiach Yahushua Malak for sure. Yabaraka. All right, hey, all good, man. Hey, better late than never, man. You feel me? We're all working for the same penny. You understand what I'm talking about? We all working for the same penny, family, right? Whether you came in on the first hour or on the 11th hour, we all working for that same penny, which is he who survives until the end, the same shall be saved. You understand? That's what's up, family. All right. So, P gang, let's go back to this verse. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. Right? This is us. The rightful the rightful heirs to the land. We're gonna fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive to all nations but ours. The rightful heirs won't be there. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And when is that? That's when Christ return, family, and reclaim this kingdom, right? And return the kingdom unto Israel, the people, not an Israeli nation, right? A state drew up by men. This is a divine intervention right here, right? So all these fools, they're gonna get their scrap on. They're gonna do what they do. But peep game, it's to no avail, because we know who the real people are, and we understand what they over there doing, right? Let's go to a go-to. Let's go to a tried and true in Revelation 3. We're gonna get Revelation 3 and go to verse 9, right? Because we know the Gentiles over there trying our land down, but you know why? It's because we was wicked. All right, don't be mad at nobody but yourself. Sit back, get your popcorn, watch these heathens tear each other apart, but get yourself straight. Get back on this walk, right? Be 10 toes down on this walk, because you gotta buckle up, family. The tide is coming. You see all this stuff boiling around you, man. The tide is coming, and it ain't gonna be for the weak, because he who endured to the end, the same will be saved, right? Let's get this Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Right? These people over there claiming to be the rightful heirs of the land, and they know they are not. They do lie. Now, perhaps through the many generations of their parents telling them lies, maybe they fit in the category of you've inherited lies. You feel me? Either way it go, they know they don't read Torah. They don't follow Torah. You see what I'm saying? They know they wicked as hell. They got gay pride parades, kosher pork. They over there having raves where the kids is doing illicit drugs. They wicked. Right? It's like Babylon's little homie, Babylon's little sidekick. You see what I'm saying? Now, but what's it going to take for us to get back right? For enough of our people to understand what's required of us. And what's required of us? Follow these law, statutes, and commandments. Keep the faith in Yahushua and teach your loved ones, your other family members, your other Israelites that you're around to do the same. Get these numbers up, seal that elect so we can get up out of here. But you know what? Brothers is thinking, hey, man, I'm just going to sit back and it's already kicking off. I'm just going to sit back. You know what's making all these things set off? Is brothers out there on the block crying aloud, spreading this word. The more we go out and do this work, the more things you see, the more seals you see unfolding throughout this world. You feel me? It's all related to scripture. Every bit of it. Right? And what's the end story? The end story is all these weak alliances that's based on financial gain. One gonna turn against the other. Somebody gonna piss one off. The other one gonna be like, man, I can't really back you on that no more. And the skirmish is gonna be on. You see what I'm saying? And then it all plays out. We got World War III. But it's just knocking on the door right now. See what I'm saying? It's knocking on the door right now. So as they getting ready to set it off, we need to be more locked in on doing these law, statutes, and commandments, right? And doing what's pleasing to the Most High God, so He can usher in, right? So that He can usher in these fulfillments of prophecies, right, in our lifetime, and Yahushua can return. Until we get it right, Yahushua ain't gonna be set loose, man. Y'all got to understand that. Y'all got to understand why all this stuff is going on. And like I said, I had to get in the spirit first to even talk about it, because look, it's frustrating, man, to see all these heathens over there fighting for our land. And we over here with no power to do nothing. No power to do nothing. But all we can do is trust in the Most High God and do His will. Have faith in God and do His will, man. That's the only thing that's going to get us up out of here. You see what I'm saying? And look, let's fast forward. Let's say all this stuff go down. You see what I'm saying? What's going to start happening, right? When Babylon falls, what's going to happen to the Saudi Arabias and the Egypts that's sitting there watching their own people get slaughtered and not really getting involved because they got financial ties with Babylon? What's going to happen with them people when Babylon fall? Now the money gone. Now they got to deal with their people. It's going to be uprisings, man. Because how are all these countries over there run? They run by dictatorships. They run by, some of them is still run by emperors. You know what I'm saying? And princes and stuff. What do you call that? A monarchy, right? In that kind of rulership, the people ain't happy. The majority of the people is ready to uprise. They keep them powerless, right? But what happened when their money is funny and they start losing power, you see uprisings, right? You see uprisings. Just like in, like, was it 2013 in Egypt, where they had the what did they call that? The yeah, they had a big uprising over there. What did they call it? Let me look that up. 2013 Egypt. Right? What did they call that? The Arab Spring, right? That's what they call it. The Arab Spring. I remember that. Right? So 2013, they had the Arab Spring in Egypt because the people was mad at the leadership and they start protesting and said, we're not having it no more. And then it just cracked off, right? It really cracked off. But the US came in and squashed that because they didn't want that popping off. The same thing can happen in Saudi Arabia with one bad move. That whole monarchy, that whole, you know what I'm saying? All them high, what do they call them? The princes and all these things. It can go down. The same thing is volatile in Iran on the other side of the chalkboard or the chessboard, because that's what happened in the 70s when the Shah of Iran was assassinated. And who was behind that? The United States. Right? Y'all look into the history, look into the geopolitics of what's going on. It's a powder keg. It's a powder keg waiting to explode. Matter of fact, let's go into Revelation 18. Revelation 18. Right? Because look, this is a picture of the end of the story. When Babylon is falling, all of these players, right? And let me get one more. What is it? Zechariah 9. Zechariah 9. Right? Right? Zechariah 9. So let's go to Revelation first, and then we'll delve a little bit into Zechariah 9, because look, I just wanted to have a general overall discussion, attach a few scriptures with it so you understand how to correlate what's going on with scripture. And I want you to go back and really delve into some of this stuff. I'm going to read a few verses from Revelation 18, right? It's all good, Qatar One. You know what I'm saying? You can catch us on the replay, family. Right? Catch us on the replay. All right. So Revelation 18, right? Babylon is falling. So imagine we done went through Ezekiel 38, you know, Meshach got the hook in his jaw. He done turned, you know what I'm saying, and start ransacking all his enemies like he's beginning to do now against Ukraine. And he gonna keep moving through Poland, and he gonna keep smashing, right? Because that's what the Most High said gonna happen. Got a powder keg coming from the east, and we got a powder keg, you know what I'm saying, on the Gaza Strip that's gonna move all the way, and they're gonna meet, and it's gonna boom, big time war, right? That whole area is a powder keg, right? So let's just imagine the aftermath of all of this, and them fiery darts done reach way over to this continent as a sidebar, all of that, as a result of all of that, right? Let's fast forward to this revelation right here, this prophecy. Babylon is falling from the top. Revelation 18 from the top. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, right? All these nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Money, power, right? Military power, financial power, right? Liberation. You feel me? I mean, look, they over there in Saudi Arabia talking about women's rights. And they got this whole, the Crown Prince had this whole campaign where we're going to let women get driver's license. How long you think that lasts? Straight up. Let's be real, right? That shit was in the news for about a week just so they can make some financial agreement, right? Because certain people in this country that pay taxes would have a problem with their tax dollars going to support a country that say didn't have women's rights. So that's the kind of politics that's being played. So they make this whole campaign like they're gonna be liberal now and women can get driver's license. Man, they must have gave 1 or 2 women some license and let them get some video of them driving. But I'll be damned. You go over there to Saudi Arabia right now. I'll be damned if it's any women just freely driving. They're not with that, right? It's all propaganda, bro. But they've drunk the wine because they want that money deal, right? They want access to the weapons so they can get more power, so that they can suppress their people. They want access to the technology, right? Whatever the deal is, they'll sell their soul for that, man. They have no morals. See what I'm saying? Right? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Right? This is important. They've waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? These boys over there stacked up. Why? Because the United States turn a blind eye while they just ransack their own people and fill their coffers up, right? It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye not be partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Don't fall victim to the bag, right? Not for the money, not for no wicked pleasures. Stay focused on this truth. You feel me? Because the consequences of not staying focused is death and horrible death, right? For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she had filled with her filled to her double, right? She's gonna get double the wrath. How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow, right? America the greatest military power on the planet. Nobody is. Who else want fuck with Hollywood Code, right? Right? That's going to come to an end. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her, right? So look, and guess what? To all the wicked heathens that's in pocket with her, right? All these countries that's, you know what I'm saying, double dipping and got proxies on both sides of wars. And at the end of the day, they just trying to fill up the coffers with the bag. They don't give a damn what their people suffer. Wickedness, right? And the kings, Revelation 18, verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of torment, saying, alas, alas, the great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Because guess what? They really can't stand the United States anyway. but they like that bag more than they hate the U.S. Right? Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Right? That scam is gone. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, of pearls, fine linen, purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all thyine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and marble, all the finest things, the oils, the wine, all the goods, right? All the goods. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. What is it saying? All these clowns over there that's in pocket with Babylon, the United States, right? All these clowns that's in pocket, when Babylon goes down, they're going to be over there weeping from afar. And they ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. And they pockets is going to get checked because that power structure is going to be gone. And it's going to be a lot of looting and you know what I'm saying? And let me get some get back going on. You feel me? So look, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught, right? Overnight, just gone. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto her, this great city? Like, oh man, my you know what I'm saying? My bag is gone. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Right? And this is to us. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. Right? We praying for that day. We praying for that day. You feel me? Right? Praying for the day to see the downfall of our enemies. Because there's no greater joy. Right? No greater joy. So look, that's a little synopsis, right? And the point being, what the point I want to achieve is look at what's going on in the world around you, and through the spirit try to understand the signs of what's to come. Right? Try to understand, okay, we know the scriptures say that there's going to be, like, let's get the title, right? I mean, everybody know this, right? This is familiar to everybody. Wars and rumors of war. We know that's going down, but look at the players. And being that we in the Western world, right, and the media has a certain spin, you got to know, if you want to understand like the geopolitics of the world, you got to know how to do your research outside the box. Don't always let them force feed you with the propaganda. I had to go all the way to Times of India to get a source, right? I Googled, I ain't find nothing on none of these CNN, Reuters, Bloomberg, none of them said anything about Yemen being in the war. And like I said, Yemen been at war with Saudi Arabia for the longest. You feel me? They've been going at it for the longest. Nobody talk about it, but that war has been kicking. And the U.S. has a vested interest in that, so they do proxy wars, right? And every now and then a soldier will end up getting drugged behind a truck, dead body, drag the skin off him, you know what I'm saying, and it get put on the news. And then they got to say, well, he just fell off his parachute, and I don't know why he was over there, right? They got to make up some story and try to dust it off. You got, they mention a lot of people keep mentioning Hezbollah, right? That's the Lebanese military unit, right? Hezbollah, Hezbollah is Lebanese, right? But then that's about to crack off. But they, it's two different skirmishes, but Hezbollah and Hamas got a common enemy, right? It's not like they homies, right? Because one is Sunni and one is Shia. They really don't fuck with each other, right? Pardon my French, but that's just what it is. But then you got Syria, and the relation between Syria and Lebanon is that Syria had never stopped being in a war with the Israeli state since 1948, or at least it really cracked off when the 1960s accords and they started moving borders around, right? But Syria been at war with, but we don't hear about that. Syria been at war with the Israeli state, and as a result of that ongoing war, a lot of even though they don't share a border, right? But a lot of Syrian refugees moved to Lebanon. They immigrated to Lebanon to escape the war in Syria. You feel me? Now, you see how that play? It's like what, probably a million, what I'm saying? A good hundreds of thousands of Lebanese refugees. I would say upwards of 1 million, right? Syrian refugees in Lebanon to this day. So how does that work? How does that work if Lebanon decide to move against Israel? Right? If Hezbollah decide to move against Israel, them people that moved away from their own land to escape war, what they gonna do now when there's war in their land and there's war in the land that they sought refuge? What they gonna do? You see, that's the result of wickedness, man. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And then they tell the people in the Gaza Strip, just go south and migrate get out of the Gaza Strip and go over there to Egypt. They got refugee camps over there in Egypt, and Egypt was like, nah, don't send them over here. We don't want none of that. Hey, Egypt was like, man, I'm out of this. Why? Because Egypt is what I'm saying, getting that bag with their alliances with the U.S. The U.S. is like, hey, hands off. Hands off. I don't want to get too close. I'm not going to say nothing bad about this side, but, we got this thing going on, and that, man, it's all coming, you know what I'm saying? The curtain is open. You feel me? So you see how all of these moving pieces, right? You got refugees from the Gaza Strip. The Israelis say, you know what I'm saying, escape to Egypt. Egypt was like, y'all motherfuckers, don't come over here. No, don't pass go. Then you got Hezbollah is having skirmishes, but the Syrian refugees in Hezbollah, now, where they gonna go? It's a big mess, man. It's a big mess, right? So, but we know what's gonna happen because go back to the top of where we started. Don't trip. It's gotta happen. You feel me? Go back to Matthew 24. Right? It's gotta happen. Don't trip. Right? Because it's signs of Christ's return. You see what I'm saying? These things have to happen. And so Yahushua is telling us, don't trip. Right? Let's go read up a little bit, just so you know what Yahushua is saying to us. Right? All right, because he's saying, he's telling his disciples, Matthew 24 and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right? What's gonna be the signs of thy coming or thy return and the end of this wicked world? Right? The end of this wicked kingdom. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, and shall deceive many. Right? Right? Saying, I am Hamashiach, right? And shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So this is a dual fulfilling or cyclical prophecy, right? But then there's a time where it will be the end, right? There's a time where it will be the end. So Lord willing, we get these numbers up, and you know what I'm saying? And these fools keep jumping, keep cracking it off. And that time is made fast for the sake of the saints, right? But we got to understand Jacob's trouble is coming. The flood is coming, right? Because you're going to have famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. But these are all the beginning of sorrows, right? Because guess what you think is going to happen when all of these financial arrangements collapse, and then certain banking systems is no longer, they lose their value, right? Or you got war going on over here, so this resource can't move, so this whole industry collapse. Can't get food to these people. Can't get oil to these people. What you think is going to happen? It's going to be a free-for-all, right? So we got to prepare for that. You know what I'm talking about? Got to prepare for war. And look, I'm gonna leave y'all with something inspirational, because it can sound like gloom and doom. I get it. Let's find a little bit of inspirations. You know what I'm saying? Where am I gonna go? Right? I'm gonna inspire y'all on on what to prepare, how to prepare. See what I'm saying? Because we don't got the weapons of war, the bombs and the missiles and the aircraft carriers and battleships. We don't got that. We don't got the tanks and all the machine guns. Esau think he gonna do something by buying up all the machine guns. Man, come on. What's a machine gun gonna do? Not a damn thing, bro. Esau crazy. So this is rode the short bus to school, man. That nigga's stupid, right? So like, get a little drink of water, right? This what we gotta use this as inspiration, because our battle is not, you know what I'm saying? It's not their battle. You see what I'm saying? We not battling flesh and blood. We battling principalities, right? So this is what we got to focus on. You see what I'm saying? All right. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, right? I'm gonna drop down to verse 10. Start with verse 10. It talks about the armor of God. Right? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is very important, right? Because like I said, you got them Israelis over there. It's a small group of them that's in power, that's doing what's to their best interest, but not even the interest of their people, and damn sure not the interest of anybody else. It's no different than over here in the United States. You got a small group of rich people that do what's in their best interest, when the majority of the people, they don't give a damn. You think they give a damn about them inbred trailer park low life beasts? They don't. They just pretend to be, because they wicked. You see what I'm saying? They need them for a certain thing, and then once they're done with that certain thing, they give a damn about it, right? That's why it's not let's arm up and let's go over there and take these pea shooters, man. Come on, it ain't about that. We got something 10,000 times stronger than that. You see what I'm saying? And it's from within. The kingdom is within, right? For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. For wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. What is truth? The law is the truth. And the law is our righteousness, right? We gird our loins with that. You know what I'm saying? We gird our most precious part with that. Our life, because that's where life comes from, right? Truth. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. 10 toes down, knowing that our Savior is coming back to deliver us from our enemies. That faith, 10 toes down, solid foundation, because we know that the gospel is true. We know that the good news is for God's elect, right? This is where faith comes in, right? Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. All right. And see, once you got that foundation of understanding and you're doing the work, right? I show my faith by my works, right? That builds your spiritual shield against all these fiery darts that's going to be constantly coming at you. You see what I'm saying? And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, right? This word, right? This word that he who endures to the end, the same shall be saved, right? Through the Spirit, right? Christ said, I'm going to send you a comforter to give you remembrance of all things, right? Which is the word of God, right? It's all written as it is written. See what I'm saying? Right? Verse 18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints, right? Who are the saints? Right? We know who the saints are. All right, let's get that real quick just to round this off, right? Saints. Right? Book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice, right? The Israelites, God's chosen people. You feel me? God's chosen people. And what's special about God's chosen people is that we was delivered these lively oracles and given these perfect instructions, because the law is the light and reproof instruction is the way of life, right? So we got to choose life and come up out of this valley of the shadow of death victorious as a nation. It's not about individuals. It's about all of us, family. And that's a fact. You see what I'm saying? It's a guaranteed fact, right? Hey, that's about all I got to say, man, because, you know, I could keep running my mouth, man. I'm about losing my voice, though. But, hey, if y'all got any quick questions or comments, open the floor up for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? You know, throw a one up if you found some edification. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing. Or if you got any questions, need clarification, just shoot me a question. You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully this put it in perspective of you got to see what's going on around you to understand that this truth is real. These prophecies is real. That's what makes this word so special. All praises, family. See a couple ones. All praises, right? You know, Lit Earl said one. Appreciate you, Earl. You know, but yeah, family. And like I said, this is like skimming on the surface of, you know, a lot of real heavy topics, but you gotta take it for what it is. Of, hey man, whenever they tell you something or whenever they say something, don't really focus on what they say. Read between the lines, and then go learn how to do your own research, because all these little puzzle pieces, if you sit back and just observe, you're like, oh, look at this fool, and this man, look at these fools, man. Look at these fools. They think they slick, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? Okay. Bring out, let's say, Lit Earl. He said, can you bring out just one scripture for the class for anyone who feeling down? Okay, King. And like, I got plenty of you know, my go-tos, right? But you want me to bring out, okay. Want me to bring out a particular one. All right. All praises. The Earl got some precepts for us. Let's bring out Isaiah first, right? Let's bring out Isaiah first, and then we'll go to John. So Isaiah, Salakia. All right, Isaiah 30 and 20. It's a good one, right? And I'm gonna expound upon Isaiah 30 and 20 and maybe read up a little bit. That's why I wanted to go there first. All right. Go to 20, and then I'm gonna read up a little bit. All right. Here we go, King. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers, right? All praises. And just to wrap that up, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left, right? You feel me? So look, these is definitely words of encouragement, right? And what is Isaiah talking about here is there's a time when the people is like, no, man, I don't want to hear y'all niggas out there on the corner hooping and hollering, man. I want to listen to TD Jakes, man. I want to listen to Creflo, man. I'm gonna put in 100, I'm gonna get back 1,000. You feel me? They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the easy route, right? But peep game. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go to 10. This is what Isaiah is talking about. And this, in order for us to get to this day, to, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a reason why we got the bread of adversity. It's because we was wicked, right? So we got to encourage our family not to be these niggas, right? Right? Let's start with 9. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it 100, family, because, you know, Israelites can be real niggerish, extremely. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? So-called blacks, Latinos, and indigenous people. Every damn one of my family. Hard-headed, right? So Isaiah 30 and 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord, right? Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits, right? So it's some wicked brothers out there that, you know, they know they wicked, and they know they got their head in the sand, right? But they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. But you know what our job is? Whether they hear or whether they forbear, we got to let our brothers know, because that's how you love your brother. Is open rebuke is better than secret love, right? Now let's get John 16. All right, John 16. Feel me? 16 and 33. All right. John 16 and 33. All right. A little more inspiration, family, because look, that's why I wanted to go through Isaiah a little bit first. But here we go. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Right? This is Yahweh Shai speaking. Right? That's that faith in your brother that came down here and shed his blood for you, because we was filthy rags and a pile of bullocks from here to the moon would not be adequate sacrifice, would not be adequate atonement for the level of our wickedness. But Yahushua gave his life cheerfully. He went through this affliction without missing a step, right? Right. And a matter of fact, what I mean, you know, if you lay your life down for somebody, you can't have a better friend than that, right? There's no such thing as a better friend than that. So we, you know what I'm saying? And we go one chapter back in John 15, right? John 15. And this is the secret, man, because what is love? Keeping God's commandments, man, right? And Christ kept the ultimate commandment, was to go down here and die for your people. He kept his Father's commandment, and that's the ultimate love, right? You see what I'm saying? So right here, John 15, go back one chapter. John 15, start at 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you, right? This is Yahushua telling his disciples, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. It says, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And he's telling his man, ye are my friends if ye do whatever I command you, right? So look, it's simple. Keep the commandments, man, right? Keep the commandments. Because if we do what we're supposed to do, we getting up out of here, man. If we do what we're supposed to do as a nation, we up out of here. And we get to see the downfall of our enemies. What greater joy is that, right? You feel me? But hey, any other questions, suggestions, breakdowns? I'm gonna give y'all another minute and 20 seconds. I'm gonna end it right at an hour and a half. Right? But all praises the water lit, Earl. You know what I'm saying? For adding to the discussion, man. That was right on point, King. Right on point. You feel me? We got one more minute, family. I know it's a delay. Any questions, comments, concerns? Right? Because I'm about to land this plane. You feel me? About to land this plane. What they call that? What they call that when you in a holding pattern? I'm in a holding pattern for the next minute. Matter of fact, the next 35 seconds. Right? All praise, little man. Anytime, King. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, fam. The water to you for stopping by. You feel me? The water. Right? There you go. Final descent. Wheels down. Skirt. You know when you go, you got that smooth pilot and he just goes skirt. We in there. Right? Wheels down. Right? Rubber to the road. Hey, and with that, I'm going to get called Halal Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. Kwam Yashra.